You are listening to Tamas, written by Bhisham Sahni, narrated by Sumit Kaul. Chapter 1. The clay lamp in the alcove flickered. Close to it, where the wall joined the ceiling, 2 bricks had been removed from the wall, leaving behind a gaping hole. With every gust of wind, the flame in the clay lamp quivered violently, and long shadows flitted across the walls. But as soon as the flame steadied again, a thin line of smoke would rise from it in a straight line, licking, as it went, the side of the alcove. Nathu was already breathless. He thought perhaps it was his heavy breathing which caused the flame to quiver so violently. He slumped on the floor, his back resting against the wall. His eyes again fell on the pig. The pig grunted and put its snout to some sticky peel or rind in the garbage, which littered the entire floor. With its pinkish snout, it had already licked Nathu thrice on his shins, causing him searing pain. At times the pig would begin walking along a wall, its eyes on the floor as though looking for something. It would then suddenly squeal and start running, its little tail curling and uncurling. Rheum, oozing from its left eye, had trickled down its snout. Its bulging belly swayed from side to side as it walked or ran. By constantly trampling over the garbage, the pig had scattered it all over the floor, and now a foul stench from the garbage, the pig's heavy breathing, and from the pungent smoke of the linseed oil burning in the clay lamp pervaded the room, making it unbearably stuffy. Though drops of blood lay spattered on the floor, the pig did not seem to have received a scratch on its body. It was as if for the last 2 hours Nathu had been plunging his knife into water or a heap of sand. He had struck the pig several times on its belly and shoulders, but on pulling out the knife, only a few drops of blood would ooze out and trickle down the floor. There was no trace of any wound or stab. A thin red line of scratch or a tiny blot were the only visible signs of his efforts. Every now and then, with an angry grunt, the pig would either rush towards Nathu's legs or begin running along a wall. Nathu's blade had not gone beyond the thick layers of fat to reach the pig's intestines. Why, of all the creatures, Nathu thought, had this despicable brute with its fat, bulging body, a snout covered with thick white hair like that of a rabbit's, thorny bristles on its back, fallen to his lot to tackle? Nathu had once heard someone say that in order to kill a pig, one should first of all pour boiling water on it. But where was he to get boiling water from? On another occasion, one of his fellow chamars, while cleaning a hide, had casually remarked, "The best way to kill a pig is to catch it by its hind legs, twist them hard, and turn the pig over on its back. While it is struggling to rise, one should cut open its jugular vein. That will finish off the pig." Nathu had tried all the devices, but not one had worked. Instead, his shins and ankles were badly bruised. It's one thing to clean a hide, it's quite another to slaughter a pig. He cursed the evil moment he had agreed to do the job. Even now, had he not accepted the money in advance, he would have pushed the damned creature out of the hut and gone home. "The veterinary surgeon needs a pig for his experiments," Murad Ali had said, as Nathu stood washing his hands and feet at the municipal water tap after cleaning a hide. "A pig?" Nathu had exclaimed, surprised. "What am I to do with it?" "Get one and slaughter it," Murad Ali had said. "There are many pigs roaming around the nearby piggery. Push one into your hut and kill it." Nathu had looked askance at Murad Ali's face. "But I have never killed a pig, master. If it were flaying an animal or cleaning a hide, I would have been glad to do it for you. But killing a pig? I'm sorry. I have never done it. It is only the people in the piggery who know how to do it." "Why should I come to you then, knowing that the piggery people can do it? You and you alone shall do this job." and Murad Ali had shoved a rustling 5 rupee note into his pocket. "It is not much of a job for you. I couldn't say no to the vet sahib, could I?" said Murad Ali, then added rather casually, "There are any number of pigs roaming about on the other side of the cremation ground. Just catch one of them. The vet sahib will himself do the explaining to the piggery people." And before Nathu could so much as open his mouth, Murad Ali had turned round to leave. Then, stroking his legs softly with his thin cane stick, he had added, "The job must be done this very night. At dawn the Jamadar will come with his push cart and take the carcass away. Don't forget, I shall tell the fellow myself to take it to the vet sahib's residence. Understand?" Nathu had stood with folded hands. The rustling 5 rupee note that had gone into his pocket had made it impossible for him to open his mouth. "People living in this area are mostly Muslims. If anyone sees it, there can be trouble. So be careful. I too don't like getting such jobs done. But what to do? I couldn't say no to the vet sahib." And flapping the cane against his legs, Murad Ali had left. Nathu could not refuse either. How could he? He dealt with Murad Ali almost every day. Whenever a horse or a cow or a buffalo died anywhere in the town, Murad Ali would get it from him to skin. It meant giving an 8 anna piece or a rupee to Murad Ali, but Nathu would get the hide. Besides, Murad Ali was a man of contacts. There was hardly a person connected with the municipal committee with whom he did not have dealings. Waving his thin cane stick and walking jauntily along the road, Murad Ali was a common sight in the town. He would suddenly appear in one or another of the lanes or by-lanes. Everything about him, his swarthy face, his bristling black moustaches, his small ferrety eyes, the knee-length khaki coat he wore over a white salwar, even the turban on his head, all combined to make him look distinctive. Without any of these, even without his thin cane stick or the well-bound turban, he would not be what he was. Murad Ali had left after issuing his instructions, leaving Nathu in a tight spot. How was he to catch hold of a pig? At one time, he had even thought of going straight to the piggery, which stood on the outskirts of the town, and telling the folks there to get a pig slaughtered and have it sent to the veterinary surgeon. But he could not so much as lift his foot in the direction of the piggery. It had not been easy to draw the pig into the hut. The pigs were there, roaming about and sniffing at the rubbish that lay around. But it was a different matter altogether to lure one into the hut. All that Nathu could think of was to carry armfuls of wet hay and put it in piles outside his dilapidated hut. 3 straying pigs, wandering along dump heaps and pools of stagnant water, chanced to come towards his hut. One of them sauntered into the courtyard and began sniffing at the pile. Nathu promptly shut the gate behind him. He then ran across the courtyard, opened the door of the hut, and picking up his lathi, drove the pig inside. Fearing that someone from the piggery might come that way and become suspicious on hearing the grunts of the pig, Nathu carried an armful of wilted hay into the hut and made small piles of it on the floor. The pig was soon absorbed in picking at the piles, and Nathu, greatly relieved, came out and sat in the courtyard to have a quiet smoke. He smoked one beedi after another and waited for night to fall. When, at last, he went inside, it was already dark. But what he saw in the unsteady light of the clay lamp made his heart sink. The entire floor was littered with rubbish, and a foul smell filled the room. As his eyes fell on the ugly bloated pig, Nathu cursed himself for having taken on so repulsive and hazardous a task. He was half inclined to throw open the door and drive the despicable creature out. And now it was past midnight. The pig was still strutting about leisurely in the midst of the rubbish littered on the floor. All that Nathu had achieved was a few drops of blood on the floor, a couple of scratches on the pig's belly, and a few nasty bruises on his own shins.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?